Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have the latest on the heat wave we have that is consuming the British Isles at the moment. We've got very hot conditions coming over the next couple of days, low 30s for quite a few through central and eastern areas, and elsewhere still very warm, getting towards the high 20s, mid to high 20s, and we do have a bit of a respite perhaps Wednesday to Friday with temperatures dipping down widely back towards the mid-20s. Some areas maybe in the far southeast still getting into the high 20s, maybe touching on 30 degrees before we see a real ramp up again next weekend. Do mark in your calendar a week today, the 17th of July. Does look like we could be seeing some incredibly hot conditions. Those models we have been looking at over the last sort of week or so, there's shown incredibly hot conditions. That 20 to 25 degree isotherm at 850 HPA moving in, it's still looking highly likely, and it's increased in probability overnight. More ensemble members are on board. Now we really do need to decipher what that is going to equate to on the surface, because it does look like we're going to be seeing an incredibly hot air mass through Saturday into Monday, with the highest temperatures likely on that Sunday. But it just really is dependent on cloud amounts, exact wind directions, how quickly cooler air does move in, and the time of day at which those temperatures, upper air temperatures, do peak. But we're seeing predictions today, or at least models showing today, anywhere from around 35 to around 42 degrees, in that range. So with our all-time temperature record of 38.7 degrees, it does look under threat next weekend. So to remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So do start on the live radar, you can see nothing is going on really at all. Little precipitation anywhere near the British Isles, completely dry, sunny for most, some trapped cloud here or there, a few little cumulus clouds popping up, but nothing substantial at all. We do put on those temperatures. I'm recording this around sort of 12:15, so we haven't reached the peak temperature today. We've still got a few hours of warming, and you can widely see oranges and reds. Very warm, if not hot. Temperatures already into the mid to high 20s for many, and it's going to top out around 30 degrees today, somewhere through the spine of England, down towards central southern areas as well. And you can see that those dark reds for Yorkshire, for the East Midlands, down into the London area, East Anglia. That's where we're going to see those temperatures peak at around 30 degrees, and they will rise even higher tomorrow, 31, 32, 33, highly possible. Tuesday, 31 to 33 again, but we do have a cold front moving in from the north, so it does look like Wednesday, Thursday and Friday are going to be slightly cooler for everyone, but not that cold. It's going to be putting temperatures back down to just above average, so mid-20s, maybe high 20s for some in the southeast. But yeah, very warm day today, and it's widespread warmth. We had very hot conditions already this year so far, but they have been primarily focused in the east and the southeast, with little plumes coming up from Europe. But this is widespread warmth. You can see all the way up into Scotland, into Aberdeenshire, those temperatures rising into the mid to high 20s. So up and down the British Isles, it's very warm, very dry, and it's going to just get hotter over the next couple of days. So do just have a look at the short term. I know a lot of people are interested in what's going to be happening next weekend. We'll focus on that in a minute, but we just want to have a look at what's happening for the next 5 days, because there still is very hot, potentially disruptive weather around up until this coming Friday and Saturday, before it does ramp up, as I said, Saturday into Monday. So do have a look at the precipitation. You can see a few showers around earlier, but they are moving away from northeastern Scotland, and you can see it is very dry. A few showers, maybe clouds popping up in the afternoon through central areas, but just cumulus clouds really, so nothing too major at all. As we head into Monday, you can see again another pretty dry day. A couple showers, maybe thunderstorms breaking out of the far east. That's really cropped up in this latest run, but again they will be hit and miss if they do come at all. You can see there's very little activity there, so it maybe is just a few tiny areas of instability, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But for the majority, it is dry and warm. You can see that weather front starting to approach from the northwest. It doesn't bring much in the way of rain or any heavy rain at all, really, just some thicker cloud. And into Tuesday, it is a little bit more of a cloudier day, still very warm if not hot, and the UKMO Operational Run is quite progressive today. I must say, though, other runs are slightly more delayed with this weather front moving in. So it does look like Tuesday will cool down from around mid-afternoon onwards. But other runs have it holding on a little bit longer. And as we head through Tuesday evening, the thicker cloud, a little bit of precipitation heads through the southeast. So some areas could see a little bit of rain overnight, but I'm not expecting anything too major. Through Wednesday, you can see, again, generally a dry day in the south, a few showers further northwards, and it will still be a pretty warm, if not quite hot day. Still getting towards the mid to high 20s, just not into the low 30s, maybe 3 to 5 degrees cooler than what we were seeing on Monday and Tuesday. That's going to continue into Thursday, still very dry for many in the south, slightly more unsettled further northwards, and as we head into Friday, potentially a little bit more precipitation around through Friday across northern Scotland, but that will quickly move away as high pressure, much warmer dry conditions take over once again through Friday afternoon into the weekend. Now, if you do have a look at those 2 metre temperatures, it is going to be very warm, as I said. You can see this afternoon temperatures peaking around that 27 to 29 degree range, potentially 30 degrees in a few spots through East Anglia, East Midlands, Yorkshire, North East England, down into central southern England as well, and maybe into the West Midlands as well. As we head into Monday, probably the hottest day of this week, or this working week at least, 31 to 32 degrees quite widely through central areas and high 20s pretty much elsewhere, mid-20s through Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales could even get up towards 30 degrees as well. So hitting heatwave thresholds pretty much widely, so very, very warm. Now, Tuesday, as I said, there's a lot of uncertainty with this. You can see there is a weather front moving in, and at 3 p.m, it's still 31 degrees through southeast England, but much cooler further northwards and westwards, and it's all about how progressive that weather front is. Again, it doesn't matter too much because the weather front isn't particularly active, it's not bringing any heavy rain, just maybe some lighter rain and some thicker clouds. I don't think many people care that much, but it could mean some areas in the Midlands here, which is showing 24 degrees, could actually be 30 degrees if this weather front is slightly slower in progressing. So we'll just have to see how that does shape up. But this stage still does look like a very warm day, at least up until around 3 p.m. It's going to be very warm, if not hot, for quite a few. Still with the temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s quite widely. But further north and westwards across Northern Ireland, Scotland, back more towards average. And if we do move into Wednesday, those temperatures start to just sort of hold around the mid-20s, 24, 25, probably 26, 27 in a few spots in London, maybe southeast England. And into Thursday, the temperatures start to climb again. 26, 27 degrees is possible through the central areas into East Anglia, London, southeast, and that will just continue to rise by Friday and Saturday. Could start to get back into the 30s. So it does look like some areas in the north will see very warm conditions over the next couple of days, turning cooler through Tuesday evening into Wednesday, and then holding around average, slightly above average through Wednesday into Friday before ramping up again through the weekend. Areas in the south and east, it all does depend on how much that cold front does sweep through, how quickly it sweeps through, and whether it does sweep through the whole of central southern England. If it doesn't, we could still hold on to high 20s, 30 degrees pretty much all week. If it does sweep through like the UK Met Office has it, it does mean sort of Wednesday, Thursday, most likely we'll be seeing temperatures back down towards the mid to high 20s. So still very warm, but not quite that oppressive, sort of low 30s. Now, if we do have a look at the mid to longer range, we'll be having a look at those horrible conditions perhaps next weekend. So yeah, it's looking very warm, hot, heatwave-like conditions this week, but it's looking ridiculous perhaps Saturday to Monday next weekend. And the GFS is just continuing that bout of incredibly hot runs. Now, if we do have a look, you can see lower pressure moving through to Wednesday time. You see it's not particularly low, but it's just moving some slightly cooler air around it through Tuesday into Wednesday. Perhaps a little bit of precipitation, as I said, across northern Scotland, but elsewhere pretty dry. And you can see by Friday it's drier for all again with higher pressure building in. Bit of a weather front further northwards, you can see through Friday and Saturday for perhaps parts of Scotland, seeing a bit of rain through Friday and Saturday. So the Open up in St Andrews could actually be seeing quite a bit of rain, could be seeing some bone dry conditions through Thursday, but through Friday and Saturday could see some rain, but it all depends on how far southwards this low pressure system does move. But you can see by Saturday afternoon into early hours of Sunday, you see that low clears, the high pressure clears to our east, low pressure out in the Atlantic, southerly flow. You can see incredibly hot air mass spreading up And you see it does quickly sort of move to our east, but a couple incredibly hot days there. Saturday in the south at least, Sunday, Monday, widely incredibly hot temperatures into that 40-degree range for some through central England, before eventually it does move away and we see low pressure move through, bringing heavy rain and thunderstorms before we just go quite unsettled towards the end of the run. But I don't really want to have a look at that at this stage, just simply because we don't have the next sort of 7 days completely sorted out, and how much of that hot air does move in will sort of decide how it does break down and how everything else develops following that. So there's no real point looking at the breakdown of this heat wave yet, because we don't know how high it's going to reach come a week's time. Now if you run back and have a look at those upper air conditions, you can see it is going to be incredibly hot. Cooler conditions, as I said, through sort of Wednesday, Thursday, but by Friday, warm air starting to push up from the south. You can see the 15-degree isotherm is moving up into the central southern England, and that's by Friday. Could start to get towards that 30-degree range again. You can see that massive hot plume moves up. The 20-degree isotherm engulfs all of England, all of Wales, starting to encroach on Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland. The 25-degree isotherm moves into southeast England. Incredibly hot through Sunday into Monday, and even Tuesday, still quite hot before moving away on Wednesday. So yeah, incredibly hot conditions. And if we do zoom in the United Kingdom, look, you can see that 25-degree isotherm is in, and perhaps getting up towards that 26, maybe 27 degrees. Incredible plume of hot air. Now, if you have a look at those 2-meter temperatures, if we do run it back and have a look at what Saturday is showing, or at least Friday, you can see Friday getting towards the high 20s. Again, these temperatures maybe a degree or two underdone because it's the GFS, which is a low resolution model, so it's not always going to get those temperatures bang on, maybe a degree or two out. So 28 degrees, possible 30 degrees there on Friday. Saturday afternoon starting to hot up, 33 degrees there, most likely 34, 35 degrees. But it's Sunday. You can see those temperatures rising widely into the high 30s, 40, 41 degrees through central and eastern areas. Incredibly hot there through Sunday afternoon, and that continues into Monday, where we see temperatures rise once again to 40, 41, 42 degrees and widely mid to high 30s for most of England and Wales. So incredibly hot conditions being seen here. And into Tuesday, still very hot across the far south, 38, 39 degrees. So could be seeing 3 consecutive days of 40 degrees from this GFS run. Now, I must say, I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is over-exaggerating it. But the possibility of hitting high 30s, breaking our all-time temperature record, and reaching 40 degrees, I think has got a very good chance at least one of the days come next weekend into early next week. Now, beyond that, as we head into Wednesday, you see that hot air gets swept away and temperatures down to the high teens, low 20s, so almost 15 to 20 degree temperature drop there. So could be seeing massive thundery outbreak beyond that, but we'll still have to keep an eye on that over the next few days as it comes into the shorter time frame. So incredibly hot from the GFS today, continuing its ridiculous trend of model runs. Now, if you have a look at the GM, now miraculously the GM has been completely opposite to the other runs, and it continues like that. So the GFS continues to be right out front with the hottest runs we've ever seen. The GM is the opposite, not allowing that southerly wind to come in. Now, it's very warm, if not hot, over the next few days. Like the other runs, pretty reliable now. But as we head into next Saturday, Sunday, that hot plume goes to our east, and we actually pull in a west-northwesterly wind, much cooler, with temperatures maybe peaking around the high 20s on Saturday and Sunday. Nothing exceptional at all. We can see that on the upper air conditions. You can see by next Saturday, an incredibly hot air mass in the far south and southeast, but it's only there through maybe Saturday into early hours of Sunday, so it could give mid to high 20s, maybe 30 degrees in the southeast before cooler air does sweep back through, and the hot air just remains tantalisingly close to our south. Now, I do think the GM is an outlier. I do think it's got it wrong, just because of what we're seeing on the ensembles. Yes, a couple of days ago, the GFS, with some of extreme runs, was out there. There were some ensemble support, but today we're seeing the majority of ensemble support going for something close to that 20-degree isotherm moving in, which would give mid to high 30s. So perhaps not low 40s like the GFS is showing, but I definitely think it is pretty likely now we see those temperatures rise towards mid to high 30s, maybe threatening our all-time temperature record. And this GM run is off. I do think that at this stage. It is very close to showing what the GFS and other runs are showing, just not quite getting there. So it's interesting seeing that, and whether we do see it flip and return to what the other runs are showing over the next day or two. Now, if you compare it to the ECMWF, which does go incredibly hot today, and I think this is the most likely sort of scenario. As we'll see with this, it does forecast temperatures in around the mid to high 30s, which I think is the most likely scenario. You can see high pressure building in. High pressure clearing to our east next weekend, pulling up a southerly wind, incredibly hot, and continuing all the way into next week. So it actually keeps the longevity of that hot air. You see by Saturday, the 20-degree isosphere moves in, perhaps the 22, 23, maybe 25-degree isosphere moves in, and it just lingers to our south, continues very hot into next week as well. By next Wednesday, still very hot. Now, if we do run into the United Kingdom, and have a look at those 2-meter temperatures. Again, it only does it at midday and 6 p.m. intervals. You can add maybe 2 degrees to this, as the peak is at 3 p.m. So you can see by Saturday, those temperatures peaking around sort of 30 degrees, most likely 31, 32, maybe 33. And by Sunday, those temperatures peaking around 34, 35, 36. So most likely 37, 38, maybe 39. And by Monday, again, around 30 to 32, so most likely 34 maybe. And again, Tuesday, 27, 28, so most likely 30, 31. So I think that's the most likely scenario. Those temperatures getting towards the mid to high 30s, maybe not touching that 40-degree mark, but threatening our all-time temperature record. But still, regardless of which one of these runs come off, whether it is the GFS, whether it is the ECMWF, or whether it is closer to the GM, it's still going to be incredibly hot next weekend. It's looking pretty much guaranteed it's going to be into the 30s. Very likely it's going to be into the mid-30s, and there's an increasing chance now it's into the high 30s, touching maybe on 40 degrees. Now, if you finish, have a look at the ensembles. This is the chart we have been looking at on the weather outlook, and you can see the probabilities, or at least the percentages, of ensemble runs going for these sort of temperature ranges. Now, if I do scroll down temporarily, you can see the temperature ranges. We're looking at 16 to 20, which is this orangey colour, 21 to 25, which is slightly darker orange, more towards amber, 26 to 30, which is reddish orange, and 30 degrees plus, which is pink. And you can see the percentage of ensemble members going for it, so you can see tomorrow into Tuesday, highly likely we're above 30 degrees. One caveat, of course, with this is the midday temperature each day, so even some of the ones going for that 26 to 30 degree range will be going for 30 plus degrees come 3 p.m. when it is the peak temperature of the day. So you can see Monday, Tuesday, highly likely we reach 30 degrees today. Only 26% going for 30 degrees, so probably touch and go whether we do reach that 30 degree mark, but I think it will be reached somewhere. See by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, most likely back towards that 26 to 30 degree range. That's where most of the ensembles are, and you can see Thursday maybe even dipping as low as that 24, 25, but you can see by Friday, Saturday time, ramping up again, more likely towards the high 20s, maybe 30s, maybe even low 30s by Saturday, and Sunday you can see the majority of ensemble members are above the 30 degree mark at midday. So you can see it is highly likely that Sunday, the 17th of July, a week today, is going to be incredibly hot. Monday, very high chance, 58% of the ensemble members still going for 30 plus degrees, and it's then Tuesday, Wednesday where the big uncertainty comes in. And you can see there a pretty even split, still 10 to 20% going for 30 plus degrees, 20% going for 26 to 30, and around 40 or 50% going for that 21 to 25 degree range. So a lot of spread there. You see massive spread through all the different temperature ranges. But you can see the increased number of ensemble members going for incredibly hot conditions through Monday, Tuesday, slightly cooler through Thursday, Friday, before ramping up through Saturday into Monday again. And this just show you the percentages. But if we do have a look on a line graph, this is the latest 6 o'clock run from this morning. You can see very warm over the next couple of days. Remember, these upper air conditions are giving 32, 33 degrees. But you just look at that peak around the 17th, 18th of July. Incredibly hot. You see the operational run there that we had a look at was off the scale, but it has support. There's a good half of the ensemble members that are getting to that 20 to 25 degree range, which would give temperatures in the mid to high 20s. The majority are around the 15 to 25 degree range if they're not already above 20 degrees, and there's a few just below that. But the majority, as I said, are getting towards that 20 to 25 degree range, which would give mid to high 30s, threatening our all-time temperature record. And I think that is the most likely scenario. I do think we have a very, very good chance of getting towards perhaps exceeding our all-time temperature record next Sunday. There is uncertainty, I must say, but the chances are increasing with each run. But yeah, incredibly hot there. But at least there's going to be a brief respite, perhaps through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time. Now, if you look at the 2 meter temperatures, you can see very warm in the next couple of days. Of course, these ensemble members are at midday, so midday and 6 p.m, so it's going to peak slightly higher than what these are showing, and these are ensembles, so they're low resolution, so it's likely to be, again, a degree or two. So you could probably add 2 to 3 degrees onto these temperatures. So you see today peaking around high 20s, so most likely 30 degrees. See tomorrow peaking around 30, maybe 31, and again, most likely 32, 33. And by Wet Tuesday, you can see again peaking around that 29, 30 degree range, so again, 31, 32 degrees. Before, you can see by Wednesday, Thursday, back towards 24, 25, so most likely again around 26, 27. And Thursday looks like it's going to be the coolest day for the next week or so, in around sort of 24, 25, most likely 26 degrees peaking. And then by Friday, ramping up slowly, 25, 26, or maybe 27, 28, or 29 degrees. By Saturday, most of the ensemble members are back towards that 28, 29 degree range, maybe 30s. Again, low 30s, the peak. And then by the Sunday, majority of the ensemble members are now around that high 20s, low 30s, and quite a few are towards the mid 30s. Again, you can add 2, 3 degrees onto this. So most likely, I think, mid to high 30s. Most likely temperatures, I think, for next Sunday now, around that 35 to 38 degree range. I don't want to say anything too high because we still have cooler outliers. So I think the most likely is around that 35 to 38 degree range, possibly higher. But some of these runs going for 24, 25 degrees, I just don't see it happening at this stage. I think it's highly likely we are well into the mid 30s, if not high 30s, incredibly hot. Monday, there's more uncertainty. More are going very hot. Some are going very cool. Again, I think it's likely back to be in the mid 30s, but we're going to have to see just exactly how quickly that hot air does exit before things do cool down. Now, if we do look at the ECMWF ensemble members, and this is why I think there's highly likely we're seeing this very hot conditions next weekend, because the ECMWF are even more bullish. The majority of their runs are around that 18 to 25 degree range, which is a low to mid 30s, if not high 30s. So it's highly likely we see something incredible. You can see this massive peak here, a good 5 degrees higher than what we're seeing earlier this week. And earlier this week, we're thinking the temperatures are going to peak around 32, 33 degrees. So if you just look at that, correlate and add 5 degrees, that's 37, 38 degrees already. So incredibly hot conditions. And you can see the 2 meter temperatures for next Sunday are from the majority of the ensemble members. The average is 31.5 degrees at 1 p.m. Get towards sort of 4 p.m, 4 p.m, most likely would be 33, 34 degrees with all these ensemble members. And then as soon as you exclude some of the colder runs, which most likely will disappear over the next couple of days, we could be looking at 36, 37 degrees from low resolution ensembles, which is ridiculous. So it does look like it's going to be incredibly hot over the next couple of days, cooling down through Wednesday into Friday before really ramping up Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it's looking likely a week today could be the hottest day we've ever seen in the United Kingdom. I don't want to call the exact temperature at this stage just because we're seeing a range of runs, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be heat wave, incredibly hot. It's most likely going to be mid to high 30s, but we'll just have to see exactly what that temperature comes out to be. But if you are vulnerable to the heat, please do take the necessary precautions, because today it's 29, 30 degrees. And yeah, it's very warm. I think a lot of people are going to start to feel it today, start to be like, yeah, it's getting hot, but it's going to get even hotter over the next couple of days. And the one thing a lot of people don't take into account is that the heat builds. Houses that are currently low 20s in terms of indoor temperatures, that's just going to rapidly increase. And inside your house or wherever you live, it's going to be uncomfortable. And then as soon as those temperatures start to rise towards mid to high 30s next weekend, there's no escaping it. Because at the moment, indoors, it's still low 20s because we haven't had time for the houses, the bricks, the insulation to heat up. But once it does over the next couple of days, it's going to be relentless, this hot conditions. So please do take the necessary precautions. Make sure you do stay hydrated. And of course, Do wear your sun cream when you're outside, and the UV is incredibly high UV still, getting towards sort of the peak UV we can get really end of June into early July. So it is going to be dangerous conditions out there, and if you are vulnerable, if you do know elderly people, please do look out for everyone, as it is highly likely to be pretty dangerous over the next week or so. Not only because of the temperatures peaking perhaps in the mid to high 30s, but it's the relentless nature. There's no real proper days off, even Thursday, Friday time, where it's back towards the mid to high 20s. That's still likely to be very warm, and it's not going to really allow any homes or anywhere where you live, any buildings really, to cool down substantially at all. So it's going to be very hot. It's going to be dangerous, so please do take the necessary precautions, and I'll keep you updated here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.